What laws or regulations are there, and who does Mediation Accreditations Committee report to or answer to? Who regulates them?
To start with, right now Justice Odunga is in charge at that place. And let me tell you, you cannot have the case of the pot calling the kettle black. When I hear the president of the Law Society of Kenya speaking of mediators putting clients through horror stories, if Kenyans were to come here and tell you what they've gone through at the hands of advocates, I think you would see that mediators have been heaven compared to what they've gone through at the hands of the people he represents. Mediators have done really well. We've tried where things have failed. By the way, ask yourself, who sends cases to mediation? Judges. A person who, for you to qualify to be a judge, you have to have served for 15 years as an advocate. Now, you've served for 15 years, and then you probably practiced as a judge for 10 years. A person of 25 years experience sitting at that bench and looking at the monkey games that some advocates are playing in court and deciding this case must go to mediation. And then a 23-year-old case is resolved in 4 sessions. Do you think that judge was wrong? So when you come here and say that those cases went well because advocates were involved, they also went horribly because advocates were involved. And they were with that case for 24 years. And they were playing monkey business with it. Let me tell you a story that something that came to my office some time back. We train a young lady, and because Kilimani Mediation Center, my firm does train people in mediation. The other thing that I want to address. And she goes to her dad's law firm and tells the dad, "Dad, I have these special skills." But they love Gen Zs. They're amazing people. And she tells the dad, "I can resolve any case in this firm." And the dad tells her, "Try this file." It was a 17-year-old succession dispute. And God helps her. In 2 months, it's resolved. Then she comes and says, "Daddy, I've made it." The dad looks at her and tells her, "Wewe ni mjinga sana. Hii file imekusomesha, imesomesha brother yako high school, na nilikuwa napanga isomeshe mtoto wenyu mdogo amalize nayo university. Sasa wewe umeenda kuimaliza within 2 months." These are the stories of what advocates have put people through that they also don't want us to have a conversation about.
If I was to open that up just a little bit, Fanya, are you saying that mediation is a loss of revenue to advocates, and that's why the issue might be coming up?
People are just feeling threatened. Just the way I told you, like when Uber came and people were thinking now, because we are used to the old taxi method of dropping somebody here, unarudi mpaka mahali ati tuko na shimo yetu kama taxis. The justice space is going to change, and they have to be prepared for it. But let me continue prosecuting my point. He spoke about training, and he spoke about people just waking up and training people and releasing 1,000 people. We would like to know which institution is this that got 1,000 people to train in mediation, because that would be phenomenal. It doesn't happen. What the judiciary did, the judiciary is very responsible. Let me first defend the judiciary, in as much as I'm not a servant of the court as he is. The judiciary first took, I remember the first batch of 60 of us to Strathmore University. And I must thank Strathmore University for presenting that opportunity. They brought people from the ADR Institute of Italy. They brought people from the United States, and we were trained continuously for 3 months at Strathmore University on how to train people to become mediators.
Okay.
The ADR Institute of Italy is not a joke of an institution that will just give you a fake certificate because you've been trained in mediation. Some of us have trained very many. I train advocates. Every other month I have a training. And when they go back, they give value to their profession, and they are grateful, and they say it. When these people are becoming mediators, they don't just become mediators. They go to an interviewing panel. They find judges. And most of the times, I love Justice Odunga. He's hands-on. He's one of the persons you'll find there, and he'll ask you very hard questions. You don't qualify, you don't become a mediator. You qualify, you become a mediator. There's only one place I agree with him. That like every other profession, mediation has got its challenges. We have a few rogue mediators, but these figures are speaking for themselves. We have a few rogue advocates. We have a few rogue pastors. That will happen. And I think this is a question of how do we regulate. He's spoken about associations. What has happened is just like him. The people in Kisii have got their own association of mediators. It is closer for them to be able to have their own problems. But at the national level, this is what we are doing. Now, are we unregulated? No. We have an ADR bill that we have been trying to push. Hata sasa ndio maana nataka niingie your parliament by the next year. Because this ADR bill needs to go through, and we want mediation properly regulated. For now, the code of ethics is there. The implementers of the code of ethics for mediators are your members. In fact, the chairman, I told you, the person in charge of seeing to it that mediators behave is an advocate. You are the president. Talk to him, ask him, ni wapi shida iko? And if there's a place we can collaborate and cooperate, we are happy to. Finally, the president comes and talks of that there was one case of 3 billion. The Chief Justice, who is the president of the courts in Kenya, comes and says that since we began mediation, 24,464 cases have been sent to mediation and they have been resolved successfully.
All of the 24,000?
Yes, no. They sent 40,000, but 24,000, which represent a 64% success rate. This was at Strathmore this April. 24,464 cases have been resolved successfully, and these cases on their own unlocked 68.9 billion into the economy. So it's the 24,000 cases that unlocked 68 billion into the economy. Also, this mediation has been expanded to 120 registries. When we started, there was only one in Nairobi. But the courts themselves started seeing the benefits of having mediation, and they started making sure they are increasing the registries. Now, around the country in 47 counties, we have 120 registries that are picking up cases that some of them the judges have looked at and said, others the judges have seen, amana hapa mawakili wanachezea watu. They've been sent to mediation and they've been resolved. Most finally, the Chief Justice said that out of the people who have disputes in this country, only 10% go to court. People keep speaking about court-annexed mediation. They forget that we have other cases. 90% of the cases in this country don't go to court. We have so many other cases that are out here, and that is what is encouraging private mediation. In my farm, Kilimani Mediation Center, I'm always sitting and entertaining private matters. People who went into business transactions that didn't go well, and they come to me, I own a petrol station, this person has got 40 lorries, they owe me 2.6 million, we sit down, we agree. We file those private mediation settlement agreements in court. It's a procedure provided for by the courts, and they become law. And let me tell you, Mr. President, I want to encourage you, because next year, you will be my president. I decided this thing of kushinda hapa tukisumbuana. I am actually a student at the Kenya School of Law, this time as we speak. And so next year, you will be my president. So I speak as someone who has got a very strong inclination to mediation, but at the same time, I'm a trained lawyer. And I felt that if this only step of becoming an advocate is the thing that makes us look like we are saying this because we are not advocates. Now we are telling you, we are saying this as people who are both passionate about mediation, passionate about law, and yes, strongly committed to justice, because these are justice stories. This is someone who has a problem that they wish was resolved in any way, as long as it gives